The WNBA continues to get the kind of attention they shouldn't want. All right, again, Colin Cowherd is making a point to talk about the WNBA again. He does it now multiple times a week, but only when it comes to one player, or in this case, one player and what it is the rest of the league is doing to her.
So, believe it or not, trading Caitlin Clark is actually being talked about, and just when Indiana fans were finally catching their breath, enter Colin Cowherd, tossing gasoline on the rumor fire like it's his personal mission. The man never runs out of takes, and this one could ignite a full-blown basketball civil war. Is he over the top? No doubt. But is he completely off base? Well, that's where things start to get interesting.
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting. The pettiness has no bounds. For years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like. When the wave hits, ride it. They wanted to fly private. They wanted to be more popular. They wanted sold out arenas. They got it. I wouldn't have guessed that Caitlin Clark would be this.
Here we go again, the WNBA finding fresh new ways to outdo itself in the art of self-sabotage. Forget building rosters, forget expanding the fan base. No, the latest master plan? Float the idea of trading Caitlin Clark like she's some kind of Pokemon card. Brilliant strategy, right? Except for the small detail that it wouldn't just blow up Indiana, it would set the entire league ablaze in one spectacular fireball of chaos and mismanagement.
This is clearly them cutting her down, because when you look at fan voting, obviously Clark is one, right? Because she has the most fans in the league. So that clearly biased. You go to the media voting.
She was 3.
She was 3. That actually makes sense.
I agree. She's not having the best of years this year. She's actually, her shooting is down.
Exactly.
There's been a number of situations that she's just not played her best ball. But she is still much, eons better than a lot of the other players that they voted in front of her.
Let's get one thing straight. Trading Caitlin Clark wouldn't just wreck the fever, it would nuke the WNBA's one guaranteed cash cow. This isn't about swapping a player, it's about erasing the storyline that's keeping the league alive. Clark isn't just out there dribbling, she's hauling an entire franchise, and let's be real, about half the WNBA, into the spotlight with her bare hands. Every ticket sold, every jersey flying off the shelves, every headline making noise, it all traces back to her.
A university professor in finance looked up the value of Caitlin Clark for the WNBA. This is insane. So this year, last season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark was 26.5% of all economic activity as a rookie on the worst team in the league when she entered it. So now she has an 8-year, $128 million deal with Nike. So, she's going to eat. Merchandise in the league went up off a rookie from a Midwest-based school on the worst team in the league, $230.
Now picture this. Taking all that momentum and shipping it off in a cardboard box with a FedEx label. That's the kind of genius move that makes fans hurl their remotes, cancel their season tickets, and turn to pickleball out of pure spite. There's dumb, and then there's historically stupid. And this would be historically stupid with extra sprinkles on top.
I'm not going to ignore, nor am I going to take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next 2 weeks while Caitlin Clark is out with the quad strain. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark or other players hate Caitlin Clark. But I will say this. I don't think it's specific about Caitlin Clark. I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents. See, it's no fault of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark balls. She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did it.
But wait, it actually gets better. Not only are we tossing around trade rumors like the WNBA has some overflowing pool of superstars to gamble with, but now we've got the coaching equivalent of a soap opera plot twist. The same coach who once stood by while Clark got poked in the eye like it was part of the halftime entertainment is suddenly hired to be her boss. Seriously? What's next? Promoting the trainer who iced her ankles to head of conditioning? This isn't subtle. It's not even close. This isn't about coaching, it's a setup. A staged performance in lanyards and clipboards, sending one crystal clear message: silence the star, dim the spotlight, and sell it as team strategy. But we see it. Everyone sees it. Clark hasn't just been benched, she's been politically sidelined. And the front office didn't just hire a coach. They hired that coach. The one with a suspicious resume full of selective justice and passive-aggressive rotations. Let's be honest, Clark and this coach don't mesh. At all. Their chemistry is like oil and a dumpster fire. The system isn't built to elevate her, it's actively rejecting her. This isn't a clash of styles. It's a cold war in sneakers. And the fallout shows every time she's yanked from the floor while a random bench warmer racks up minutes like it's a charity drive.
Colin Clark had another, whatever you want to call it, confrontation in a WNBA game. Like, why is this happening? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. What other sports analogies are out there that are in any way similar to the impact that one individual has had on a larger sporting universe? Tiger was.
And why would a league that's finally got eyeballs glued to the screen start pulling this stunt? Simple. Control. Control the narrative. Control the star. Keep the fans just entertained enough but not too empowered. The last thing they want is a player with actual leverage. That's dangerous. That's disruptive. That's unbenchable. So what do you do when you can't stop the momentum? You hire someone who can. You put a polite smile on the hit job and call it player development. Except the only thing developing is a bad reputation and an angsty fan base with receipts. This coach didn't just get hired, she got positioned. And if the conspiracy vibes feel strong, it's because they're practically slapping you in the face. And don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking this is some normal rebuild timeline. No, this isn't just rookie growth. Clark's not in a growth spurt. She's in timeout like a toddler who dared to color outside the lines. Cause make no mistake, this isn't about basketball. This is personal, strategic, and very, very political. And here's the kicker. Everyone's acting like this coach is just playing it safe, like there's some grand plan. But safe would mean using the best scorer you've got, not duct taping her talent and hoping fans won't notice.
She doesn't always get the consistent great star whistle. I think they're still kind of figuring out how to officiate her. Right? Like I've said this for years when I covered Shaq and Shaq got fouled more than anybody I've ever seen. I mean, it was insane. People bounced off Shaq. Jokic complains constantly. Like, people are bouncing off me. She doesn't quite get as favorable a whistle as you think. So I think
neither does Steph too. That's